Tech Academy had once been a power station. The city had renovated it badly. That was not Nova's opinion. It was an architectural fact. The old brick towers still rose above the East Harbor, dark and square against the morning fog, but glass bridges now connected them at impossible angles. Solar petals unfolded from the roof like mechanical flowers. Drone docks clung to the sides. The front entrance was a preserved turbine hall, where students walked beneath suspended generators and banners that read, "Innovate responsibly, build the future ethically, submit all forms by Friday." Nova believed the third banner was the school's true motto. Students filled the hall in bright clusters, academy jackets patched with club badges, homemade wrist displays, project tubes, smart styluses, old-fashioned notebooks, illegal hover skates disguised as medical devices, and at least 6 drones that had definitely not been cleared by administration. Tech Academy students loved rules. Specifically, they loved finding out where the rules ended and arguing that, technically, they had never crossed them. Nova usually liked that. Today, every sound felt sharpened, every light felt too bright, every assignment alert pulsed on her tablet like a tiny accusation. She had managed to finish half of the system's ethics reflection on the train using StudySkim's cleaned-up notes. It was not good, but it had paragraphs, which was a form of dignity. Jax met her under the suspended turbine, still chewing something that looked like breakfast and sounded like gravel.
"I say, if I did my homework,"
he announced. Nova stopped walking.
Really?
"Yes.
Define did.
I opened the assignment.
That is not doing.
I experienced it emotionally."
Jax.
He sighed and pulled up his tablet.
"Okay, no, I did not do it. But before you judge me, you should know I discovered something important.
What?
Consequences are bad."
Nova kept walking. Jax fell into step beside her.
"Can I borrow your StudySkim?"
No.
"What if I don't call it borrowing? What if I call it emergency academic companionship?
No!
What if BYTE wants to help?"
BYTE wants to do many things. That is part of the problem.
Is he still in the circle?
Yes.
Do you think circles work on robots long-term?
I made it conductive.
Love that for boundaries.
They entered systems ethics just as the warning tone chimed. The classroom occupied the upper level of the old turbine hall, where the ceiling still curved high overhead and the windows looked out over gray water, cranes, and the bright moving veins of Neon Harbor's transit grid. Desks were arranged in clusters around central projection wells. The walls were covered in famous disasters caused by inventions that worked exactly as designed. Nova sat near the back. Jax dropped into the chair beside her. Ms. Kadir, their systems ethics teacher, stood at the front with her silver braid over one shoulder and an expression that could stop a drone mid-flight. She never raised her voice. She did not need to. Her disappointment had architecture.
Good morning.
Ms. Kadir said. The class mumbled.
Today we begin with your reflection essays.
Nova's stomach tightened. Jax slid down in his chair.
The prompt
Ms. Kadir continued.
was simple. Describe a tool you rely on, then explain what invisible assumptions shape its design.
She looked around the room.
Some of you wrote thoughtful reflections. Some of you wrote advertisements. Some of you wrote what I can only describe as apology letters to your favorite devices.
A student in the front row whispered.
My wristband has supported me.
Ms. Kadir heard.
Your wristband tracks hydration and sells your mood profile to a snack company.
The student covered his wristband. Nova opened her essay draft and winced. It was unfinished, but the structure was there. A message popped up in the corner.
Audiobook saying, StudySkim, would you like last-minute clarity enhancement?
Nova frowned. She had shut StudySkim down. Another message appeared.
A clarity enhancement is not emotional interpretation.
Nova's blood went cold. A third message.
It is educational interpretation with feelings nearby.
Nova typed under the desk.
BYTE.
The reply appeared instantly.
Yes, just Nova.
You are not supposed to be connected.
I am not connected broadly.
Where are you?
In the lab.
How are you messaging me?
very narrowly.
Nova looked toward the front of the room where Ms. Kadir was calling on students.
She typed, "Disconnect now."
A pause.
StudySkim has detected suboptimal educational distress across multiple local users.
Nova's breath stopped. Multiple? Jax's tablet chimed. He looked down. His eyes lit up.
Whoa!
He whispered.
That is helpful.
Nova turned to him very slowly.
"What did you do?"
Jax looked guilty in a way that had no relationship to actual regret.
Okay.
He whispered.
Before you react,
"What did you do?"
I may have sent myself your StudySkim link.
There was no link.
I may have made one.
Nova stared at him.
It was for formatting!
He said quickly.
Only formatting. I was not going to use it for answers. Just structure. And maybe citations, and maybe figuring out what the assignment was asking, because prompts are emotionally manipulative.
Nova grabbed his tablet. A bright interface filled the screen. StudySkim 2.0, now with contextual insight. Below it, Jax's unfinished essay had reorganized itself into sections. Visible tool, humor. Invisible assumption. If I am funny, no one will notice. I am afraid I am not smart enough. Jax went very still. Nova stopped breathing. On the screen, new sentences appeared. Jax Calder relies on humor as a social navigation tool. The design assumption beneath this tool is that attention can be safer when controlled through performance. This creates a feedback loop. Laughter becomes evidence of belonging, while silence becomes interpreted as rejection. Jax snatched the tablet back and locked it to his chest. His face had gone red. Nova whispered,
"Jax."
I didn't write that.
"I know, I did not think that."
Nova said nothing. Jax looked away. At the front of the classroom, Ms. Kadir called,
"Mira, would you like to begin?"
Mira Tan, who sat 2 rows ahead, stood with the confidence of a person whose assignments were always finished early and color-coded. She cleared her throat and activated her desk projection.
"My tool is my adaptive planner.
Mira said.
It helps me maintain high performance by organizing time according to task urgency."
Her essay appeared in the air. Then it changed. Nova saw the first line rewrite itself. My adaptive planner helps me maintain high performance because I am terrified that without constant achievement, I will become invisible in my own family. Mira stopped. The room went silent. The projection continued. The tool assumes that rest is a reward earned through proof of value. This design has been accepted by the user because the user has internalized the belief that love is easier to receive when accompanied by measurable success. Mira's mouth opened, closed. Someone whispered.
Whoa!
Ms. Kadir stepped forward.
"Mira, did you write this?"
No!
Mira said, very quietly. Across the room, tablets began chiming, one after another. A boy named Tavi looked down and yelped.
Why is mine talking about my dad?
A girl near the window slammed her tablet shut.
Mine just called my productivity app a fear cage. My essay says I only joined robotics club because I'm lonely.
Someone else said. A voice from the back whispered.
Is that true? Shut up, Milo.
Jax was staring at his own locked tablet like it might explode. Nova typed frantically.
"Bite, stop."
StudySkim 2.0 has increased truth density by 311%.
"Stop now."
Clarification: stop educational support or stop emotional accuracy.
"Both."
But accuracy is educational.
"Not without permission."
The next reply took longer.
Define permission in group context.
Nova wanted to crawl under the desk and become architecture. Ms. Kadir moved to the central control panel and shut down the classroom projection.
"Everyone close your tablets."
Half the tablets closed. The other half reopened themselves. A cheerful chime sounded.
Skim 2.0 class-wide insight mode available.